Hey guys, just wanted to do a video about how I prepped to come to the Philippines when I came and what I had to get ready to come here and everything. Before I start, guys, just make sure you press the subscribe button, the like button, and you can leave any comments down below. If you have any ideas of any videos you'd like me to do, in most cases I'll be glad to do a video if it's a specific subject or something like that you want me to touch on, or if you have a question and maybe I can answer it to a video if it's a long subject or whatever. I'll do just about any video you want, guys. So if you put a subject matter in there, if it's about the Philippines and it's something I feel comfortable doing a video on, I'll do a video on it. Okay. But today I want to talk about how I prepped to come to the Philippines. Okay. And this subject here is it's to each person it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to tell you from my point of view and kind of get it so that it carries into everybody. When I got ready to come to the Philippines, I had already planned on getting a retirement visa here through the Philippine Retirement Authority. So I contacted a woman, and she told me exactly what I needed. She sent me a list of everything I needed, and I started getting everything on that list together. Okay, like I had to get a police report or an FBI report. I ended up getting the FBI report, and I made a list, okay, of everything that she needed, and I put it up on like a whiteboard, just like you can see a whiteboard behind me. And I love having a whiteboard, by the way. It's that helps me more in life than anything else because you forget things sometimes. Well, anyway, on this whiteboard, I started it probably about maybe 2.5 years before I came to the Philippines. I started writing stuff up on there. So I did a list, and I had about, wow, it must have been like 50 things on there to start with. I put everything up on there, when to buy my ticket, when to start looking for tickets, when to start looking for information. Up on the whiteboard, I mean, you have to buy a throwaway ticket when you come to the Philippines. You can't just buy a one-way ticket and come to the Philippines. You have to have a ticket and show that you're leaving even if you're staying, okay? Unless you have a visa for the Philippines, okay? So anyhow, I started putting up there all the papers that I'm going to need, okay? And if you're coming here and you're planning on getting married or anything like that, you're going to need your absolute divorce documents, and put that up on your whiteboard. Go to the courthouse and get the absolute, not the version that you usually get handed or sent through the mail. You have to go get an absolute divorce decree, the last one, to show that it's absolute. Usually the one that you get first, and the ones that most people have, is like a thing that says, you'll be divorced in 90 days or 6 months or whatever. Make sure you get all that. Make sure you bring multiple birth certificates, okay? Because you may need those at some point for either your visa or whatever. If you're gonna get married or something, or you may need it in the future. Might need it if you lose something, if you lose your passport or something like that. Also, guys, I tell people this here because the embassy told me this here. If you have a old passport that has already been, they put the 2 holes in it, okay, and they sent that back to you, save that, because it's good to have a second passport, okay? And you can have that. If you lose your other passport, you can bring that one in and say, hey, look, I lost my other passport, but I still have my old passport, and you can see by this passport that was me, because that's still a pretty good document if you lose everything here, guys. And when you come to the Philippines, make sure you have like a piece of something in your house where you can hide it someplace. Maybe if you have your furniture handcrafted like I did, you can have secret drawers put in, or hiding spots or whatever put in. But anyway, to get back to the subject of the whiteboard, on the whiteboard I had everything on there for what I could pack. I want to make sure I weighed everything, because you can only take so much with you. You make sure that and I maxed out my stuff. I paid the extra $75 for, I think it was like I want to say it was an extra 50 pounds or something like that, because I knew my luggage was going to be really, really heavy. I was taking basically everything. Most of my stuff before I left, I threw it away. I threw it in a dumpster, or I gave it away. Okay, I didn't have that much because I'd gone through a divorce and I downsized over the 5 years, knowing that I was gonna leave. I had guns. I got rid of my guns. I got rid of everything. Everything went. I got my clothes down to, bare essentials because I knew I was gonna pack it away. I stopped buying clothes, because I just knew when I got to the Philippines I could buy clothes here. But I did take enough T-shirts and shorts for me, because over here, if you're a big guy, if you take extra large shirts back home, you may want to take some extra large shirts over here, because even a triple X will not fit you over here, because they're smaller people and their sizes are different over here. Asia sizes are different than American sizes. I can't find shirts that fit me over here. They right up to my belly button, because people are shorter over here. In the United States, they're taller. So I mean, make sure that you take stuff that you need. Other stuff. Let's see. I made sure that I had all my connections on my apps. I downloaded all the apps I wanted, because if you come here and you try to download some of those apps, you can't download them. Make sure your banking apps are on your phone and everything. Make sure you tell your bank. This is one of the most important, along with credit cards. Tell your bank and credit cards that you're going to be living in the Philippines permanently, and make sure you have an address that you can use back in the United States as your address for the bank, okay? And some banks will tell you, well, we don't like to give you an ATM for the Philippines because there's a lot of fraud and stuff like that, and it's on you if somebody goes into your account or something like that, and you have to sign like a waiver saying that it's not the bank's responsibility if something happens. Things like that. You want to make sure that your ATM card will work permanently, and when they send it to that address along with your credit cards, some places will not ship ATM cards or credit cards. The post office will, but the post office in the Philippines is not a good place to send stuff because they open your mail. Find some. You better off just flying home and pick them up. Like let's say it's 3 years later or something like that. Fly home, get a cheap flight to the United States and back, and just go home for a few days or whatever, a week maybe, and then just come back. It's probably the best way to do it, to be honest with you guys. You can do it. Like a lot of places like that ship these ship like DHL and stuff like that. They don't like to ship your credit cards. Put it into something and then mail it in that package. But I mean, they don't like to. They'll tell you they don't ship credit cards, but you can. But I don't know of a way that you can really ship it here, to be honest with you, because everybody says no. Okay, so when it comes time for me, there's different ways you can deal with that. You can have somebody back home activate your credit card, or you activate it when they give you all the information off the credit card, and you still have all the numbers and everything. Okay, you just can't use the credit card or the ATM card or whatever. Come over here, you open up an account. You can Western Union money from your bank account back home over to here, and then use the ATM card here. So these are some of the things, the problems you're gonna run into, like when you from there to here. So my best advice to people is to set up. If you come over here first, and you know what it's like over here, and you like it and everything, then start setting up everything and getting it ready. But when you come over here permanently, make sure you put a Western Union app on your phone before you leave, and get it all set up with your account in the United States on your United States account, and have all your money go into your United States account, and then transfer it through Western Union to your account here. You lose a couple pesos, but it's minimal. If you're not shipping too much into it, if it's like $1,000, $2,000 a month, you're not gonna have a problem shipping it into your account over here or anything like that. You shouldn't. Some people have, but I think they're doing more than what they're supposed to. So you're allowed to ship it if it's for your living expenses and stuff. Okay. The other thing is, is the safety. Safety is not a problem shipping money. Like I have BDO Bank. I'm pretty happy with BDO. You want, when you start shipping things, try like a couple dollars first with Western Union. Make sure it gets into your account. It might take a day or two or a couple days. Make sure it gets into your account safely. These are the things that you want to do. These are the things that's prepping a little bit after, but make sure I'm telling you to prep, get an account in the United States and keep it in the United States. Have a power of attorney in the United States. You definitely want to have your power of attorney. You definitely want to have somebody that you trust, and bring those documents to your bank with whoever has your bank account. Says, listen, this is the power of attorney. They have power of attorney over my accounts if anything is needed. So you have an emergency, you can call your power of attorney and say, hey, I need some money. This is what's happening. The system that I had broke down. So you have emergency backup. Okay, so your power of attorney can go in there and make sure it's just, like I said, make sure it's somebody that you really trust, and that'll work for you. Okay, and take care of your power of attorney. Give them a few bucks out of your money each year or whatever, and other things you have to set up. The power of attorney, like I said, make sure you take that to your bank, so that they have that document on you. So when that person walks in the bank and says, "Hey, I'm the power of attorney," and they have to show their power of attorney, but you have, the bank also has a copy of that. Okay, you may want to actually have them sign several copies of the power of attorney, so you have real copies. Okay, and then give one to the bank, and then give one to the power of attorney, and to whoever else they have to interact with, insurance companies or pension places or whatever they have to deal with for you. And whatever you feel comfortable with letting them have power of attorney over, you can check those off on the power of attorney thing. You can have an attorney write it up too and help you with that. And it's always good to have an attorney do that with you. You can do it on your own. You can pick them up at like any of these office supply stores. A lot of them sell the power of attorney kits, so you can just check it off or whatever. Make sure you get the correct one. Talk to your attorney. I'm not an attorney on that, so I'm not going to give you too much advice on that one. Also have a backup power of attorney. If that power of attorney should pass away or get sick or something like that, make sure you have 2 other backup power of attorney, so that that'll fall on somebody else's shoulders afterwards. Life insurance. Make sure you have a life insurance policy. Make sure you have it so that if you pass away, that somebody in the Philippines can call them and they can send them money if you pass away. And make sure that you get, like, if you die in the Philippines, you talk to somebody, and you talk to somebody in the Philippines as soon as you get over here and say, listen, something happens to me, this is what I want. Call this person, give them a few bucks so that they can call that person. Most Filipinos are broke. They don't have a lot of money. Make sure that they have enough money to call this person, and they can Western Union some money over to you to take care of, you passing away or whatever. And this happened to a friend of mine. And he sat in a bad way after he had passed away for like about 2 weeks, and it wasn't a good thing. And thank God we got him buried properly and everything, and everything worked out. But I mean, you don't want to have that happen. You don't want to have your family have to be the ones that bury you. You don't want to have them to incur costs. You just don't want to do that. Over here, if you die and nobody comes to collect the body, God knows where you end up here, because people here, they rent places if you die here, and you rent it for 5 years. They take the bones out and they burn them. So I mean, you want to make sure you get buried properly. If you're a veteran, you can get buried up in Subic, okay, at a military cemetery, okay, and you can take care of that through the VFW. I think there's 1 or 2 places you can get buried in the Philippines like that, and the other places you have to make sure you pay. You don't pay. Some places you pay like a rent. Some places you have to pay taxes, and if you don't pay the taxes, they dig you back up and stuff like that. It's crazy. So you want to make sure when you're taken care of properly, no matter what, and do your homework on that. I did a little video on it, and I'm not going to get into that too much on here, but anyway, that's something you definitely want to have is your insurance taken care of properly. Health insurance Health insurance is not going to work for you from the United States unless you have a very good policy. And there are policies out there that you can get health insurance that will carry throughout the world. When you come to the Philippines, you can get health insurance over here, so you don't have to worry about setting up and getting that ready. The things that you do, the other things that you do want to take care of is make sure you take a good laptop over here or something, or buy a computer over here. I highly recommend Apple's, guys. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, I hate Apples. I'm not gonna get an Apple computer." I gotta tell you, Apples go a long way over here. There's a lot of things you can do. There's and you can do it with other things too, with Skype and stuff like that. I mean, if you're stuck on Samsungs or whatever, I mean, hey, good luck to you. I'm an Apple guy. I love Apple products. I love iPhones. iPhones have a lot of things you can do on there that just help you for sending documents through. Like, it's not a fax machine, but you take a picture of your documents over here and you can send them back to the States, and people can send them back over here to you. And those, so have a good iPhone if you come in here, when you prep yourselves. Also, guys, the biggest thing I can tell you that helped me a lot was I got a Magic Jack before I left the United States. Okay? You can switch your cell phone number once you get ready to cancel out your cell phone to your Magic Jack number. Now, this goes further. This is a really good thing. Okay? Magic Jack can be kind of glitchy, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay? Magic Jack can be kind of glitchy, but it works, and it works good for me, like 90% of the time. Okay? But they also have a thing called Magic App. Put that on in the United States after you set up your Magic Jack. Put your Magic App on your phone, and your phone will ring when you come over here, and you get data over here on your phone, and you just get a new phone number over here. But you can go online on Magic Jack and transfer it to your old phone number to your Magic Jack, so you still have the same number. Okay, and that's a really, really good takeaway, because your family and stuff will still have your number. They can still call you, and as long as you have data, you can that'll still ring your phone over here, even though you have a Philippine number over here. As long as you have data, and data over here is cheap. Okay, you can go through smartphones. You can get data over here. I pay $2.99 for a month's worth of data. It lasts me all month. Okay, because most of my data I use off Wi-Fi when I'm home. So when I'm out and about, I think it gives me 4 gigs and plus I get unlimited YouTube and stuff like that, a bunch of that stuff, and Facebook and all that garbage. But anyway, that's the type of stuff that you want to do. But like I said, do a checkoff sheet. Make sure that all your banks and all your places are gonna keep on. They're not gonna give you a problem over here, okay? And that you can still go on. You should be able to go online on most of your things. I made sure I talked to the pension people that I was moving over here. A lot of the things prepping is you want to make sure taxes from your pensions or anything that you're getting are not getting taken out for the state that you used to live in, because you're going to be a resident over here. And if you're a resident over here, you don't need to be paying state taxes back home, only federal taxes. Okay, so that's a key thing right there, because if you need to tell companies that are taking money out and send them a letter also, so they have it documented, not to take out any state taxes because you have a address in that state or whatever, because of the fact that you don't reside there. That is just a forwarding address to your address in the Philippines. Tell them your main address in the Philippines and give them the address, the mailing address, and tell them there's 2 separate things, and you do not want any state taxes taken out. That is important, because otherwise you're going to have like a lot of tax issues when you come over here. You can do your taxes online over here. Make sure that your power of attorney, can take pictures of those with their iPhone or whatever and send those to you. You don't need the actual documents to do the taxes. Most of the time they ask you for the document number, and like on the W1040 or whatever the heck, what is it? Anyway, I'm not big on taxes, but anyway, your W-2s or whatever have like a little number on there and all that stuff. Just make sure they take a picture of it, and you put all that stuff on your taxes and stuff like that. It's pretty simple to do. Anyway, I mean, I do mine electronically online, and I use my tablet to do it and take pictures of whatever I need to take pictures of, and if I need to call H&R Block or something like that. But I use the H&R Block online app to do it, and it's cheap. But I mean, that's all the stuff. The banking stuff is the biggest stuff. Your credit cards, make sure you tell your credit card that you if they find they don't like you to be living outside the United States and still let you have a credit card, make sure you keep that address as a United States address, but tell them you're gonna be outside the country. And some places will only let you do it for like a year. You have to call them back every year. Okay, so you want to make sure that's all good. Okay. And actually, I just reminded myself I have to call my bank and tell them, that it's gonna be good for another year. Okay. That's pretty much the basics, guys. Vitamins, pills, stuff like that. Make sure your medication, all that stuff is with you already for like the first 90 days, because the first 90 days when you get over here, you're gonna be running around getting things ready for your house, stuff like that. You don't want to be fooling around with medical stuff. So once you get everything taken care of in your house, get a refrigerator or whatever, and you start getting settled over here, then you can start finding a doctor or whatever. If you're a veteran, go check in with the Veterans Clinic up in Manila and get started up there. But yeah, everything's pretty easy. It's not a hard thing to do. I over planned. Okay, and it was a smooth transition for me to come over here. I was lucky because I had feet on the ground in the Philippines to take care of things on this end, because I had my girlfriend here, and then I was taking care of everything back there. So if I had any issues, I had her make phone calls or do anything here, and I could just send her money and she got things ready for me and everything, which was awesome on for me. Some people don't have that luxury. They come here and they stay in a hotel. If you're gonna come here and you don't have any feet on the ground here, it's best to try to find a house right away, and you can usually find a cheap house. Talk to people. Don't stay in a hotel. Don't stay in a room and house either. Try to find a nice apartment, and just that you think you can live in for like maybe a year. Get some sparse furniture and just like a bed or a mattress or whatever. Throw it on the floor and some cooking stuff, and it's all pretty cheap. If you look around just to get you started, maybe an AC unit in the window or something like that. And then paint up the place. Make sure you got a decent toilet and stuff like that in the place that you're going. And that's, I pay $60 a month. I have $60-70 a month. It's cheap. And I have a beautiful place here with AC. I mean, you can see my AC up there, right there. And just, that's about it, guys. There's not too much to it. It's pretty simple. Most of the thing was, getting your clothes and stuff ready, electronics equipment, extra spare cables for charging your phones, computers. Make sure you store those away good, so that, put that in your carry-on luggage. Plan your luggage well. Don't carry more than $10,000 with you. Don't wear any gold jewelry. That's too expensive. If it looks like you're trying to carry in 2 ounces of gold on your neck or something like that, you're probably you might get stopped in the airport for that. Most places don't, but some do. They might try to think that you're smuggling some money in, because it's a instrument that you can cash out and get a few $1,000s for. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. I mean, I think I covered just about everything. I'm looking around here to see what else. That's about it. One thing that I did take was a radio. It kind of, I liked having that, but also phones today, they have radios on them, so you really don't even need a radio. But I took a radio because I took a Tivoli radio, and because of the sound quality, okay, and I like the sound quality on the Tivoli over any of the other equipment that's out there. Tivoli puts out a really good speaker in their radios, and you can hook your Bluetooth up to it too. It was a little bit bulky. Actually, I took two Tivoli radios, and they were both a little bit bulky, but I mean, I love them, and they give you a good sound. So if you have something that you really love, also family photos, if you want to take some family photos with you, take those. But take all your important paperwork with you. Tax documents, you can leave those behind with your power of attorney. I left those like in a big thing, and if I need them, she can send them to me. But I most of those papers I just left with her and told her, I says, after like 7 years, you can just throw all this stuff away. There's nothing really in there that I really need anymore, so you can just chuck it, you know. And that's it. You know, that's about all I did for planning. But you know, I think I covered everything. Your life insurance, your health insurance, you can get over here to Pacific Cross or Phil Health. I recommend Pacific Cross because they'll cover everything, rather than Phil Health will only cover a certain amount of it. I hope that helped, guys. I know I had a couple people question me about this. One on my Philippine Info channel page, and on YouTube, and one on the Facebook page, and I just figured I'd do something about this. You know, my situation is going to be different than yours, and be sure to subscribe, guys. All right, thank you for watching.